I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on advanced functions. Here is an application question for you. The cost C in dollars for shipping and storing n cell phones can be modeled by the function C of n equals to n plus 100 over n. Graph the function and explain its shape. Write domain for the function. Determine minimum and maximum number of cell phones that can be ordered at any time to keep cost below $55. Assume zero inventories on hand. Part D is, what is the optimum order size that will minimize storage cost? You can always pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. So let's begin by graphing C of n equals to n plus 100 over n. Now here n has to be greater than 0. Since it is in the denominator, it cannot be 0. So n is greater than 0. We are talking about cell phones, and therefore the numbers are whole numbers, right? So we are non-negative integer values. So as far as the domain is concerned, let me write down domain of this function. So we can say domain is n belongs to natural numbers, right? And we'll say n is greater than 0. Okay. Now let's talk about the graph itself. The graph of this function will have an oblique asymptote, which is as n approaches very large value, 100 over n will approach 0. So y equals to n or cost equals to n will be the oblique asymptote, right? So I'll sketch a small graph here. We'll answer the question in the rest of the page. If n equals to 1, then the value is 1 plus 100, which is 101, right? So the value starts with 101. Now, as the value of n increases, if n becomes 2, then it becomes 2 plus 50, which is 52, right? So what you notice here is that the value of the function is higher first, then it decreases, and then it is going to increase. And let us assume that at n equals to 1, we have this value, which is 101. We can make a table of values to get rest on this graph, but that is the shape of the graph. Oblique asymptote will be C of n equals to n, right? So we can say as n approaches infinitely large value, C of n will approach n, and that too from above, since this is a positive value. Correct? So that is all about the graph. Let me label this as n in numbers and the cost C in dollars. Determine minimum and the maximum number of cell phones that can be ordered at any time, any one time, to keep the cost below $55. So well, the minimum number is 1. Now we need to keep the cost below $55. That is to say, the value here, n plus 100 over n, should be less than 55. We can say less than equal to $55, right? You can solve this as an equation. So we get n square plus 100 equals to 55n. Bringing them all together, n square minus 55n plus 100 let's say equals to 0. Let's solve this. So let's use the quadratic formula. So n equals to minus of b, which is 55, plus minus square root of 55 square minus 4ac. So when you do minus 4ac, it becomes minus 400 over 2. So let's calculate this value. So we have 55. So we'll take positive value, positive square root 55 square minus 400 equals to, and we're going to divide this by 2, and the decimal value here is equal to 53.1, right? So the maximum value of n can be 53. So that means for this cost, the value of n will be greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 53. When we are assuming the maximum cost as equal to $55. Part D is, what is the optimum order size that will minimize the storage cost? Now, to minimize the storage cost, we have to see the rate of change, and the critical number will be when this rate of change is 0. So let's find the critical number by taking the derivative of this function, which will be 1 minus 100 over n square. And we need to equate this to 0 to find the critical number. Now, those of you who haven't done calculus at this stage may actually make a table of values, and for different values of n, they can find the cost, right? So for them, I'll suggest make a table of values. So write down different values of n and then calculate the cost using the formula, taking n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, correct? Some values, they will give you a good idea because we are looking for this particular point here. Now from this calculation, equating it to 0, we can solve this as n square equals to 100. So that gives you, this is n square equals to 100, or that gives you the solution as n equals to 10. So at n equals to 10, we are going to get the minimum cost. So when you work out for n equals to 10, you can write down 10 here and you say the value will be 10 plus 100 divided by 10, which is also 10. So we get the cost as $20. So we'll find C of 10, the function C of 10 is equals to 10 plus 100 over 10, which is 10 plus 10 or $20, correct? So that is the value in dollars for the cost, and this is the minimum value, $20. So that is how you could actually do. So those of you who haven't done calculus so far, they can calculate the values. And once you calculate the values, you will find that the minimum cost is $20 when the order of 10 numbers is placed. Perfect. So I hope that gives you a fairly good idea about how to solve such questions. Feel free to write your comments and share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.